In the news, you're now joined by the journalist and author Gemma Forte and author and broadcaster Emma Wolf. Good to have you both with us. Thank you for giving up your bank holiday Mondays, especially so early. There is a lot of coverage about VE Day, is there not? So let's just start with this picture, which when I first saw it on the front page of the Mirror, it just gets you slightly in the throat, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah, it should. You know,
It should.
these are people who sacrifice so much. This chap is 99 years old, so good for him for making the sort of pilgrimage, if you like, to go and honour his pals, honour everybody that was lost during the war. And, of course, it's victory over tyranny back in 1945. And I think every time we get to this day, it's important to look at what's happening around the rest of the world right now and to remember the sort of responsibility that we have to remember what they fought for and all of those people that were lost, especially as, obviously, Ukraine is currently fighting to defend its sovereignty in Europe.
Yeah, very much so. Like, war is back on the doorsteps of so many of those countries that remember it all too closely.
And I think it's something that the country does really, really well. I think we're all very, looking forward to this week of glorious celebrations. The royal family are going to be out on the balcony at Buckingham Palace and the fly past and all of those wonderful things. I was thinking about my grandfather telling me about dancing down Whitehall and the celebrations 80 years ago that were happening to mark the end of the war. And what young people, what people in the country went through during those, during those 6 years and the sacrifices that were made. It's really unimaginable. And I think, I think Britain's been having a tough time recently. We've been quite divided, haven't we, politically and in many, many ways, economically. And it is nice that there is something to celebrate.
Well, it's interesting you say that because you're right, and there's so little that everybody can get behind. But actually, it was, I think, the one moment for Starmer when he did treat Zelensky sort of rightly well and properly at Downing Street. I think everybody felt a bit of collective pride in that moment when he'd been treated so shabbily in the Oval Office, which was interesting. So, yeah, a very poignant day. And
there's that sad situation that the voices like Jeff here, that's on the front page of the Mirror, those voices and those stories will be lost firsthand. But I do think that potentially that is where kind of the social media, internet generation can mean that those stories can continue to live on in a way that they maybe don't. And you're kind of fingers crossed that some of these kind of bits just percolate through into Instagram and TikTok and all those places that hopefully does create a connection for people.
I hope so, and I really hope that young, not to sound like a fogey, but that young people are actually connecting with what is happening this week and what it marks and what we're celebrating. I have a 4-year-old and I'm, really, he loves the fly past, and I'm really trying to explain to him, about the war and what happened and what our grandparents and his great-grandparents did. I think it's just really important because otherwise we do lose those voices and we do lose the sort of meaning of their sacrifice, don't we?
Very much so, as we see here, actually, live pictures of central London, of Buckingham Palace and the Mall there. We're going to hear from one of the people flying a Typhoon in that fly past later on this hour. For the moment, Emma and Gemma, thank you so much. Plenty more to come here on Sky News.
A show of military might and menace.